Hi there. In my last video, we talked about, or I talked about, the importance of mapping your customer journey, particularly if you're looking to reinvent your customer journey to change it due to changing circumstances. What I want to talk about today is how to make that new customer journey consistent, so that the same things happen when they're supposed to, as they're supposed to, all the way along the customer's journey. We want to be making the new way we do things around here, and all of your team need to understand that. In order to achieve that, every single task along your customer journey, and to be honest, whether this is a new task or an adapted task or the same old task that you've always done, you want to make sure that there is one right way to do it. There is only one way to cook French fries in a McDonald's. It's the right way, it's the McDonald's way, and nobody in McDonald's would dream of doing it any other way. No matter where they are in this country, around the world, French fries are cooked in the same way. And that is the way, that is how McDonald's achieve their consistency and their reliability, and people know where they're at with them. You want your customers to know where they're at with you. You want them to receive a very consistent service or product, very consistent experience. So in order for that to happen, there needs to be one right way to do all of your basic routine tasks all the way along your customer journey, and that one right way needs to be simple, logical, repeatable. You may have heard of a really good book of that name, Simple, Logical and Repeatable. If you haven't, go check it out. It's on Audible too. Simple, logical and repeatable is the thing that you need to keep in your mind. So how do you achieve that? Well, everybody understands the word process. And quite often, people will talk about, we need a process to do that, or we need a standard operating procedure, or we need to process re-engineer it. And quite often that language gets in the way of what is actually a really simple task, and that is to create a how-to for it. And I know, a lot of you watching this will absolutely already have how-tos in place. Very often, how-tos are created as documents, so typed out. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Crucially, if you are creating a how-to in that way, it's really important that somewhere on that document, usually in a box at the bottom, you will have why we do it this way, why it is important that we follow these steps to deliver this task. If you've taken the time to make something simple, logical and repeatable, you want to tell people why it is that you do it that way. What is the benefit to you, the team, your customers, of doing the task in that particular way? So the why is really important. Saves all of the questions further down the line. There are other ways to create how-tos though. Checklists are effectively how-tos. You tick things off as you've done them. Quite often that's, if you have a premises, you'll have an opening checklist and a closing checklist. Even without a premises, you might have a start of day checklist and an end of day checklist. There will often be checklists in your business to make sure that a task, particularly a complicated task, has all of the boxes ticked, so that you don't forget things. There are infographics, which are another version of a how-to, just a pictorial. This is how we do things. And in a McDonald's restaurant, you will see a lot of infographics of how to build a Big Mac or a cheeseburger, or they'll show the bun, and then they'll show the mustard and the ketchup and the cheese and the burger, and then the crown of the burger, technical term. So exactly the same can happen in your business for tasks that are best displayed visually. The best way of creating a how-to, though, by a million trillion miles, is the how-to video. absolutely for any task that is completed online, the how-to video is the way to go. It's as simple as finding your screen recording software. If you have a Mac, that will be QuickTime. If you have a PC, it could be Camtasia. On both platforms, if you use Chrome, there's an extension on Chrome called Loom, Loom, in case you don't understand my accent. Loom, that is brilliant for screen recording. You press record, you talk through the task exactly as you're doing it, exactly as if there was somebody sitting next to you, which at the moment clearly is not going to happen, but exactly as if somebody was sitting next to you. Talk through exactly what you're doing with the task, and then press. Oh, and as you're talking through it, nearly forgot myself. As you're talking through it, explaining why you're doing what you're doing in the way that you're doing it. Really, but exactly. Part of the reason that I forgot to say that is because it's actually so natural to explain why you're doing something in a particular way when you're talking to somebody and explaining how you're doing it. So you record the task as if you were performing it. You press stop, and there you have your how-to created. It's the simplest, the fastest, and the most effective way to create training, but also to have it followed. Because if I'm your new trainee and you've just created a video for me, I don't need to come back and ask you questions, because I can just pause the video, rewind. What exactly did he say at that point? Oh, right, hang on, just go back. You can check everything yourself. If you've created a good how-to video, it's so much easier for your new and old team members to understand how you want a task to be done. So what I highly recommend that you do is go back through your customer journey, look at all of the tasks that either you have, particularly the ones at the minute that you are recreating or reworking to fit the online environment that we're all finding ourselves in, and look at what is different, what has changed, and think about what your how-to video would look like, and then create one for your team and share it with them. So any team members that are still working with you day to day, give them the training that they need to do the job as you now need it to be done. If you're working on your own because all of your team are furloughed, think about what you can be doing now, so that when everybody's back and you're raring to go, you can hit the ground running. Your training's already in place. Your training is set up. You know how you want things to work going forward because you've had the time to sit and think things through. What is the most simple, logical, and repeatable way to do this? Create how-to videos. Just give it a go. It's, you'll get used to the sound of your own voice. Trust me, it took me forever. Oh God, do I really sound like that? Just go for it. Give it a try. And here's the thing: post it on Facebook or LinkedIn or whichever platform you're watching this video on. I look forward to seeing your how-to videos. Take care, stay safe, and I'll speak to you again soon.